The action-packed sequel Nobody 2 continues the gripping saga of Hutch Mansell, portrayed by Bob Odenkirk, 4 years after his explosive confrontation with the Russian mob. The story finds our protagonist still deeply entangled in a $30 million debt to criminal organizations, which he methodically pays down through a relentless series of international hits. This ongoing obligation has created significant tension in his personal life, particularly with his family, who struggle with his frequent absences. The film builds upon the fascinating premise established in the original, that Hutch isn't merely an ordinary suburban father, but a former auditor for the FBI. This innocuous title masks his true role as their elite cleanup specialist, the person they called upon when situations spiraled out of control. Despite his attempts to maintain a semblance of normalcy with his wife Becca, Connie Nielsen, and their children, now 17 and 12 years old, his workaholic tendencies have begun to create an increasingly noticeable rift in their relationships. In a well-intentioned but ultimately ill-fated attempt to bridge this growing divide, Hutch organizes a family vacation to a resort and theme park that holds special significance from his childhood. He's accompanied by his father, David, played by Christopher Lloyd, who shares his background in covert operations. What should have been a peaceful retreat quickly devolves into chaos as the local authorities, including the sheriff and resort operator, develop an immediate antipathy toward Hutch. The situation deteriorates further when his son Blake becomes involved in a physical altercation, setting off a chain of events that leads to a confrontation with Lendina, a ruthless crime boss brought to life with menacing enthusiasm by Sharon Stone. The sequel maintains the original's distinctive blend of intense action sequences and clever tongue-in-cheek humor, all complemented by an energetic soundtrack that drives the narrative forward. While knowledge of the first film enhances the viewing experience, screenwriters Derek Kolstad and Aaron Rabin have crafted a story that remains accessible to newcomers. Under the direction of Indonesian filmmaker Timo Tjahjanto, making both his English language and studio debut, the franchise's signature over-the-top style remains intact while pushing into new territory. The performances across the board show notable depth, with Connie Nielsen receiving an expanded role that culminates in several powerful scenes during the film's climax. Christopher Lloyd proves that less can be more, commanding attention with minimal dialogue but maximum impact through his masterful use of expression and timing. Sharon Stone embraces her role as the unhinged Lendina with obvious relish, creating a memorable antagonist who makes her presence felt in every scene she occupies. The film expertly plays with the jarring contrast between Hutch's dual identities, the devoted family man versus the efficient and ruthless operative. Odenkirk continues to surprise and impress as an unlikely action hero, which remains one of the franchise's most compelling elements. His transformation from mild-mannered father to lethal operative feels both believable and entertaining, thanks to his nuanced performance. The production values maintain the high standards set by the original, with action sequences that are both creative and visceral. The theme park setting provides an unusual backdrop for the violence that unfolds, creating an interesting juxtaposition between family entertainment and intense combat. This contrast serves to heighten both the humor and the tension throughout the film. While the ultimate outcome may not surprise viewers, the journey there is filled with exactly the kind of wild, high-energy sequences that fans of the original would expect. The MA-rated film delivers on its promises, providing an entertaining ride that successfully builds on its predecessor's foundation. With its balanced mix of family drama, intense action, and dark humor, Nobody 2 maintains the momentum that made the first film a box office success, earning a solid 7 out of 10 rating.
You've been listening to Movies First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.